I love you.
Fuck off.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Now get your 7'2" asthmatic ass back here, or I'm gonna tell everyone what a whiny bitch you were about Padamami or Panda Bear or whatever the hell her name is.
Yes, that is right, everybody. It is that kind of show. Here we are. Yep. Sorry about that. There we go. Thomas Harper in the house. Welcome to this Star Wars shit show called The Mad Batch because we're all good. We're mad. At least I know four of us are. Anyone from Boston has to be insane. But yes, thank you for joining us, everyone. Going to go around the horn here real quick. We've got Sarah Blue Omega.
Hello. Why am I Sarah Blue? Never mind. That's not important.
You made that joke about you were old and like you're way younger than me. So then remember, I said I'm going to call you Blue from now on, as in blue hair, because you were saying that you're old.
Yes.
24 years old. Come on, man. Give me a break.
I'm very old.
Yes. And we got Sean AFK in the house. What's up, buddy?
I am very upset with my microphone right now. But, besides that, Star Wars, everybody. Yay.
Hey, well, right underneath of us, a Star Wars shit show. So it wouldn't be even a little bit of that if there weren't some tech issues, right?
Yes.
Yeah. From across the pond, we got Dean Lewis, a.k.a. Dean Bradley Baker.
Even though I'm across the pond, I still should be in the future. I still didn't have enough time to realise that there was, in fact, a second episode. I have let down the Star Wars community. We got 70 minutes on Tuesday or Wednesday. I thought that was it till next week. I've got no excuses. I'm not awarded the rank of master, but I'm happy to be here, even though I'm pretty pissed at myself. And the internet, they did not market that. They did not market it. I didn't see it.
Everyone else seemed to know it, except Dean just found out literally like 1 minute before we went on. So that's amazing. He's going to find out a lot here in this time.
Well, I've got some questions that will pertain to that. We'll get there. Go on.
We'll just do a table read of the whole episode. That's this.
That's great. Thanks, actually.
The worst reenactment ever.
Oh my gosh. Paige, how are you doing?
Hey, man. No, I'm happy to be here and joining the shit show of a Star Wars show. So let's get it done.
Oh, yeah. There is an echo. I hear it. I think I know what it is. I will remedy that here in a second. Thomas Harper, go on and introduce yourself, and then you guys talk amongst yourselves. I will be right back.
I'm just happy to be here. This is like a quite the cast of Scum and Villainy, so this is going to be good. I look forward to spoiling all of the new episode for you, Dean. Just made this episode really good.
I can't wait.
I know. I was saying this before we hopped on that it felt like it reminded me a lot of season 2 of The Mandalorian. Like it's gonna. I feel like it might just be like mission after mission that they have to kind of complete episodically wise. But I enjoyed it. I mean.
I think just having a Star Wars.
Yeah, the crew is pretty badass, I must say. So I love that they're all so different too.
One of my big questions was kind of like they don't really set up much of a story to kind of like go forward with in the first episode. So I wasn't sure. Apparently, maybe that was all safe for the second episode. But you're saying that maybe it wasn't, and it's just another mission, because it's like, we just always set up is that they're on the run from the Empire, who we know are going to be, they're good for a while, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So it's just like, how great can it end, really? And it's just going to be them moving on planet to planet, trying to stay alive. Is that the whole show?
Well, I mean, can you guys hear me?
Now.
Yeah.
You're clean now.
You're good.
Just make sure. Yeah, but I mean, dude. I mean, I feel like we've already found out so fucking much.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fight Dean. What is happening? What are you talking about? What are you? What? It was. Oh well, you didn't watch the second episode, so.
Oh yeah.
You didn't get all the stuff.
Episode, I'm sure. You're gonna hold that over me this whole episode.
For people on the YouTube, we're also live on stereo right now. So if you want to go over there at the Jcast Network, you can leave us some comments or something, and I'll play them here on the show. That being said, a good friend of ours here at the Jcast Network, Dagan, has sent something, and let's take a listen to what he has to say. Okay, hit play. Hold on.
What's going on, gang? Nice to see you back here on stereo doing the Star Wars show. I'm actually watching the newest Bad Batch episode right now. Really loving it.
Yeah, rub it in.
That was cool. Anyway, really hyped for the match tonight between Damon and Demolanta, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.
Yes.
Dagan, I have a stereo request for you. Spoil the episode in 10-second clips.
Yes.
Submitted throughout the entire time we're on.
Yeah, thanks. That'd be great.
Hey, it's Dagan again, and guess what?
I like putting out a little like a show statement, just kind of what I'm looking for and what I'm aiming to do here and what I care and don't care about. And one of them was not to take notes, which I love, but one of them was that we're not going to do
Maybe we should have.
don't worry about spoilers, because if anyone's watching this or listening to this, they've watched what we have, so no need to spoil it. And then one of the hosts comes in and is like, wait a minute, there was
Spoilers.
This just in, I've just been made a host, I'm hearing.
we're all man.
It's
Before
fine.
we
Go
start-
on. It's fine. It doesn't sound like there's any story really whatsoever. I had a couple of guesses. As
You
to
don't
who
know.
the
We could be
characters-
lying.
They
It
might.
could be like the
It might
biggest
not even
thing.
be a second episode. It's not like I'm going to go and check right now.
That's your fucking fault, dude. We're spoiling everything. That's your fault.
Yeah.
Really good.
All right. Well, look. Let's spoil it straight up. Is it Rex?
Oh, not in this episode.
You-
No.
No.
No, but you do.
He
He
was
is
mentioned?
mentioned.
He's mentioned. He'll definitely be showing up in this.
Oh,
There's no
I
way in hell
figured
he
Rex
won't be
was
showing up
totally
in
the
this
person
season.
that they were going to go and see at the end of the episode.
No,
I
it was
figured.
cooler. It was cooler than Rex.
What was his name? He was.
It was cut. It was cut again. They brought back cut.
Arcane.
Finally.
And for
Yeah, I know
us
who
not
Rex is.
Clone
That's
War
cool to me.
watchers, it was great.
Yep, exactly.
Who's this guy?
Who was it, Thomas?
Cut Kane. Yeah, so it's like season 1, season 2, cut back to the no pun intended, back to the Clone Wars. But you've already had. That's what I love about this show already is they are weaving it in with the Clone Wars TV show, but it's not to a point. It's to a point where you're like, all the time that I spent watching that show and rewatching it is worth it. Because there's so many things sprinkled in. I've got my my tribute to Saul Guerrera on my head, but it's not to a point where if you didn't ever watch the Clone Wars, you're like, "What's happening here? I don't have any clue." And I think it's enough that it's meaningful for folks that haven't seen it to want to say, "Let me go back and see what all of this is about," and then it becomes incentive to watch it again for them. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
And I pretty much told Paige, Sarah, and Dean to prep for this. Just watch the first 4 episodes of season 7 of Clone Wars, and then the last 3 or 4 rather, and then you'll be caught up plenty. For this, you'll be fine.
Oh, I didn't watch the last 4.
Well, then,
Yeah, we got there.
But I mean, I didn't have as many questions as I thought I was gonna.
Yeah.
Which is good because I've seen Rebels, so I know, obviously, like what's going. I mean, I know Star Wars, so I obviously know what the Clone Wars was. I know what Order 66 was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was kind of cool to see, like, all right, who are these Clone What were they? The Clone 99s? Am I making this shit
Yeah.
up? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you got it.
99.
But no, it was cool to like meet them like that way. Are they in Clone Wars?
Yeah,
episodes-
there's a very first arc in season 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a second episode of this season as well.
Fun fact for all of you watching.
Dean,
I
before we
play like I
started,
knew,
you were
but I got a YouTube or like a YouTube or some notification. I was like, "Oh, it's a trailer for the second episode," and then I was like, "Oh shit, it's the second episode." We're recording tonight. I'd better go.
Yeah.
Before
We
we
got
started, Dean was like, "It's an hour."
All right, no spoilers, no spoilers. Sorry.
No, Dagan, we're spoiled. This is spoiler everything, dude. And there's no chronological order here. This is not a review show. This is not a recap show. It's not, well, the first scene was this, and then they did this, and then he did this. And then, the only thing I will say as far as that is at the end, I thought it was going to be awesome when Omega was leaving. I was like, yes, dude, we're getting.
Oh, I want to talk about Omega at some point. I would like to discuss the beginning of the episode as well in regards to not
Which
being
one?
familiar with Clone Wars. And obviously, I knew it wasn't going to end well for the Jedi at the beginning. I did not know that was Kanan. I knew it was Freddie Prinze Jr.'s voice, and I was like,
in a little boy's body.
Caleb, and I was like, I know who
So
Caleb
weird.
is. Who's this Caleb? Does he do two voices? And so I didn't pick up on that until after I'd seen the episode. So that kind of left me in the dark. And we're going to talk about Caleb and Kanan's head. Anyone want to?
Yes, please.
Can we talk about it?
And the man voice coming from a child just threw me off.
That's what gets me. The head, he'll grow into it. The voice is like, whoa, puberty already, my friend.
My
His head is never that big in any promotional image I saw of Freddie Prinze Jr. from Rebels. He's a slim-looking, lean dude, and in this, he looks like Rumpelstiltskin from Shrek Forever After with his big bulbous head, but then this big, crazy, manly voice, and it was a lot to digest. It was a lot to digest between that and figuring out who the fuck this character was.
Yeah, no.
This is, I would say, that scene, that sequence is one of the first times in my memory that they majorly retconned something that's in existing canon.
Really?
So what is that? Let us know.
Yes.
So there's a 12-issue Kanan like miniseries comic that I cannot recommend highly enough. It's very, very good. But it starts at the end of the Clone Wars, like with his last battle. He's not on Kalar. That's not the way it goes down. The clone commander I don't think he's identified by name in the show, but it's Captain Styles or Commander Styles and Captain Gray. They're in the comic, but it just doesn't go down like that. Actually, in the comic, it's like a much more intimate scene. They're around a campfire, battle's over, they're sharing some food, and then like all hell breaks loose. And
see, I kind of would have liked to seen that. I feel like that made it more like intense, kind of, because it was just like, all right, we're done now. You go with them, and I'll go do this, and then Order 66, and then boop boop. Like
in Rebels, did it not?
What's that?
It did line up with his description of what happened when he described it in Rebels, though, didn't it? Like,
I think he described it sort of like. Yeah, he described it a little more vaguely, but it was just like, it was this really cool, because the clones have their helmets off, they're just chilling. It ends the same way, Balaba telling him to just run as she gets, like, is making a last stand and gets struck down. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Filoni will get asked that 1,000 times in all conventions.
I've already got the explanation. I know it. I already know it. I say Filoni the job here. His memory gets distorted when his head changes shape.
That's right.
There you go. He uses the Force to crush his own head to erase his memory so that they can't find him.
Oh, man. We got a couple more stereo comments here. I'm going to play them back to back.
All right, ask and you shall receive. So, Omega almost got eaten by a Nexu and had to fend it off. That was pretty fucking cool.
There you go.
Here's another one.
When Paige sends out a tweet saying she's talking Star Wars, you come. But then you
easy though.
I'm here for it. I didn't watch The Bad Batch, but I'll give it a try. Probably later this week. Been super busy with school and work and my kids.
What's happening, Shug?
What's up, Jay? What's up, Paige? What's up, Major? And see how you guys are doing. I'll watch the show and see what you guys got to think about this episode of The Bad Batch.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Suge Knight, everybody. Thanks for your support. And yeah, check it out, man. Dude, yeah, like we learned so much, I feel like, in the first 2 episodes alone. And it's just little things. It's nothing that's like mind-blowing or revolutionary, but just the, like, an example of something that's not really a big thing, but it's cool is when we just see the shot of them carrying the dead Jedi on the stretcher and the lightsaber fall. I mean, it was like, what? 5-second shot, but it was very powerful, and it was just great.
I made me wonder, what do you think they do with the lightsabers? Do they just melt those down, or they keep those?
Just throw them away.
You know,
just like a landfill full of lightsabers.
Somewhere General Grievous is looking down, or maybe
yeah, right.
I missed my moment.
No, what were those creatures called that like created the clones though? I thought that was cool to see them from obviously Revenge of the Sith to be in this one. I thought was pretty cool.
I love them.
Thomas, you know what they're called, right? The long neck people. The ones that created the clones.
Kaminoans.
Yeah. It was interesting because that's not the last that we've seen of them this season. Like they clearly have other things in play. Like one of the interesting tidbits in the second episode was this mention that the Kaminoans don't do anything without a purpose. They're not just like creating to create. Right?
Mm-hmm.
These are like profit-driven creatures that are like on the cutting edge of science in the galaxy. And so Omega has something that we don't know, like something big that we don't know.
And she's like the
her.
first female clone that we've ever seen, at least, right? Because usually everyone just interesting.
The Kaminoans, or what we calling them?
Yeah, you got it.
So they're like the most naive people in the galaxy, right? Because not only do they not see the whole plot with the Order coming and everything like that, but in the first episode, they're like, oh yeah, we're just gonna put them through their paces with a training regime with Admiral Tarkin, I think, at this point, right? And it's like, no, obviously you're suspecting them and you're testing them this isn't just a regular like training regimen. And he just like turned the regular ammo on. They're like, yeah, cool, let's do that. Like, these guys are suckers.
That's what they did know about Order 66.
They should have seen
because they're the ones that implanted
this whole
it.
plot unfolding before their eyes for years, and they've just gone along and done the science stuff, regardless of the good or evil of the situation. That's my point.
Dude, they are so calm and collected.
They knew.
Stack that paper.
They're just
Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's a good example in the Kamino and the Kaminoans need a good lawyer because that was bullshit, them getting their contract canceled immediately. It's like, hey, same people, but we've got a new name, so I don't know who these bills are supposed to go to. We're done. But then they turn around and they're like, but we have this product that you might want to keep buying, so let's test it out. And, you know, their concern really is that, like, when Tarkin demands the live fire exercise, they're like, but you'll damage our facility.
Yeah.
Always
the business people. I'll give them that.
Exactly. It's all about the money at the end of the day.
Yeah, there's just no moral to them whatsoever.
Just shut up and move on. John, dude, you're quiet as hell up there. What the fuck is going on with you, man? You're never this quiet, dude.
I am still fuming over my microphone. No, I really enjoyed these two episodes. Too, Dean. Before we started, Dean was like,
in town, I just don't watch fucking shit, all right?
Dean was like, it's an hour long, the episode. I wonder how long the other episodes are going to be. And I was like, well, this last episode was 30 minutes.
Yeah.
He was like, no, it's not. It was an hour. And I went, oh no. But what I really loved about like episode 2 specifically, sorry, Dean, is this is the first like project that we've seen in like this new canon to me that feels like such a blend of the prequels and the original trilogy. It feels like both eras at once to me. Like we're getting into like, these are the chain codes, and which we saw in The Mandalorian and all that. And like, this is the beginning of them. And it just, I love it. I love Omega, and I love that they got me the same way that Mandalorian got me, where Mandalorian, I was like, do I care about a bounty hunter? Not really. Oh, but there's a kid involved, and he has to be like a dad?
Come on.
Really?
It's
That's exactly why I didn't like this shit.
How can you go wrong with that shit, Sean?
Omega grew on me, but I did not like her. I was like, another kid? We gotta deal with another kid in this show.
Exactly.
Bring them all. I don't care.
Have you noticed that all the animated shows kind of do have like the kids in it? Like obviously we have Mandalorian has Grogu.
We had Ahsoka starting
Rebels
out.
has I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Thomas.
Ezra.
Ezra. Yep.
Ezra.
And then like I mean Clone Wars is
Ahsoka, yeah.
Ahsoka, yeah. Like they all have children that are like in these, which I don't mind. They're not as cute as Grogu, but
I was honestly excited. I don't know why. For a second, I thought that Omega was really going to leave, but then I was like,
But what do all those characters have in common? They started out one way, and then they are all, to a T, fan favorites. So everybody has their opinions on them. But the moment that Omega can like sharpshoot and do some cool shit, people are going to be like,
We
love
all
Omega.
loved Baby Yoda from the beginning. There was
Well,
no
that's-
hate towards him.
You know what they also probably all have in common? I would bet money that they are also
The
all Force
Force.
users. I bet you Omega. I think that was the Kaminoans like.
Because what else could
You don't think
be?
she can see the future? That's what I thought.
Yeah, what else could they be messing around with? They've perfected
That's
combat
true.
cloning. They've perfected, genetic replication. Like there are only so many purposes that are out there that would be relevant to this.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. Ooh, maybe she is a Jedi clone.
So
Can they
it
do
ties-
that?
Well, it ties into
But-
what they're doing in The Mandalorian, right? But
But
also,
are they really going to be that far along at this point in the timeline? If they're
Well,
with,
I mean,
with the cloning of Force users and this kind of stuff?
we don't know.
Palpatine, like the Palpatine that we see in the prequel series, is he a clone or is that the actual?
No, it's
Palpatine?
the actual
No?
Palpatine.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
real
How
deal.
he says, I wouldn't listen.
Well, I didn't know. Maybe he had
Take
maybe
his word.
like the third generation clone of him or something. I don't know. Who knows, man?
Immediately when Omega was introduced, I thought about there was an old. There's
That's
My
a
doggy.
big-
Sorry.
there's a game that was on, I think, the PSP that was a sequel to the original Battlefront games for the PlayStation 2, where you play as a clone who was cloned from a Force user. And so you go through like the end of the prequels and into the original trilogy playing as a clone with the Force. And immediately when I saw Omega, I was like, oh, that's like, and they're like, oh, there's something special about her. And we've seen all this stuff with Grogu. So like,
I literally just thought that.
I think that's probably the tying together of what Dave Filoni is trying to do in the entire.
What if she's Rey's
Star Wars.
mother and it's
That's
all
the word right
tied?
now.
I don't know about that.
If
Where I
that
was
is the
gonna go.
freaking case.
Well, I like
Everything's tied back together.
go back to Attack of the Clones, and when Obi-Wan is finding out about the Kaminoans, Dex says like they're cloners and they're damn good ones, and they're on the edge of the galaxy. They have access to Jedi, right? So dead bodies of Jedi or living Jedi were around Tepoka City. They could have been brought back there for research purposes, and they really don't have much in the way of ethics. So it's all about like pushing the boundaries of what's possible. So I think that's the exact way that they're going on some level, and you're going to find it out. Like they're going to be pinned down, they're going to be next to death, and boom, this ability is going to come out.
This is the most fucked up business model of the whole galaxy, right? So the Kaminoans get paid to make clones to kill the Jedi, to then take the remains of the Jedi to then clone more Jedi.
Yep.
Well, now you have a weapon though. Like
They just want to control everything. Yeah, they just want to control
you
everything.
can put the
They want their
inhibitor
own
things in them.
Jedis.
Yeah.
You can put the inhibitor things in them, but as they're learning in this, that's not necessarily going to work, and maybe not a good idea to do clone Jedis that you may not be able to control all the time.
Well, if
I
you
don't think
watch-
they think that far ahead.
Yeah, no.
And if you watch in the second episode, even though like the Club 99, like
Imagine
they
that.
have the chip in their head, but they just are they're what's the word I'm looking for? They're not like connected to the other clones, but they can intensify it to make them listen to the Empire.
Yeah, I was really digging for the first half of the first episode. To take it back, but with the Crosshair
something you
character.
watched.
And the one that I watched, Sean, yeah, with the Crosshair character, and I was like, oh, this is really cool because even though the inhibitor chip hasn't worked, he still wants to do the job because he's just dedicated to doing the job, right? But then they kind of retcon that halfway through the episode, and then they're like, well, actually, no, the inhibitor kind of worked.
They can intensify.
I don't know. I like
it,
that.
and they do.
They haven't even got a grasp on that, and I thought that was going to be a really interesting avenue to take the character of like he's actually just conflicted about whether or not he thinks he's got free will.
He's just
he
an asshole.
Still wants to do the shitty thing, you know.
Well,
and they kind of take that away. But
yeah, I did not
His
like
little
him at all.
toothpick and his Did he have a toothpick in this show, or was that from the Clone
did.
Wars?
No, he had
okay.
one as well.
That was my favorite. I was like, this guy.
Then he
watch
when he confronted Hunter too, didn't he? Like he didn't remove it.
I wanted him to have a cigarette, but that's too far. We have to have a toothpick.
Disney can't promote that.
Yeah.
to be smoking cigarettes.
I knew
It would just fit his.
He'd be smoking a cigarette.
Hold on. We got a stereo comment from Dagan. Let's hear what he has to say.
Part 2.
Question for you guys now, though. What do you think the deal is with Omega?
I tell you who can't see the future.
I kind of like that theory. Like they mixed Jango Fett's DNA with like the DNA of a female Jedi or something. It could be.
I don't know, like Shock T, the female Jedi who was stationed there.
Very
just grab like a hair or something.
Yeah. All right.
Give that Leku for a minute.
Yeah.
Well,
that Omega bitch is definitely a Jedi clone. I've now come to that conclusion because of you guys.
Yeah.
Well,
we broke the secret of the show.
Dean,
she's a Jedi clone. That's Starkiller territory, right? That's kind of what we're dealing with.
Well, who could she be cloned after, though? Like, let's talk about that. Like, who, if she's cloned after a Jedi, male or female? Well, it would have
to be female.
Well, I don't know. They can do a lot of shit. Can they make it?
Just deny the extra chromosome, like the male female switch is probably the easiest part of it. I would think if they could get my biggest guess would be Shock T, because Shock T was overseeing all the clones at Tapoka City, and the there's that deleted scene in Revenge of the Sith where she gets killed by Palpatine, but canon wise she's on Tapoka City, so they have a Jedi in house there. There are also a lot of dead Jedi that could be brought over. So, yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that corpse was her, though. So I wonder if we're going to see her. Like, there were no Leku on that corpse. What if, like, they go back to Kamino and they, like, see they've got Shock T strapped somewhere and they're, like, taking her DNA for these clones? I mean, seriously, like, what are the Kaminoans doing? They're not going to do that because that's too dark. But
they won't go that deep.
This show is has gone kind of dark. I don't know.
My point being is that I definitely don't think that dead Jedi was Shock T. And I don't think we've seen her canonically die anywhere. We've seen her die non-canonically like 4 or 5 times. Like somebody said in the
Bring her back.
Comments.
We want to see her die canonically or nothing.
I don't know who this is.
She has died so many times.
Okay.
There's
so
no body. There's
yeah.
I mean, the show does kind of go dark. Like the opening. Again, I'm going to keep going back to the first episode. You can keep dragging me back, but I'm going to keep doing it. But no, it's just like the general stuff. Like as far as like the cinematography,
I mean, that was the best episode.
And stuff like are really gorgeous, but especially like the snow and like the terrains and stuff. But then I feel like the character models are a little bit inconsistent. And again, I don't want to keep like ragging on the kids. But they really all the kids they just look awful. Amiga with the big head, Kanan with the big head, and
you talk about your Dean. What's going on, man?
Oh well, my question is, do you guys
really
think
expressive? I just feel like and it's not just some of the other characters, the Coming Owens. I don't know, they're a little bit like more cartoony. I mean, obviously because of the look in general, but just
I'm
like
a little cartoony. Okay,
it's too animated for my taste,
bro.
I get it. But
where are the actors? CGI for everything.
I just think like the tone kind of jumps around a little bit. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the tone.
Do you guys think Caleb will be back? Do you think we'll ever see him again in the season, or
maybe one more
don't
time?
Think so I think you don't touch that again.
Quick cameo, like we see like another short bit later.
We just see his head.
Another just in a like we saw him last time running into the woods. And then maybe just another little short scene later on at some point that shows where he has gotten to next. Nothing focusing on him, but just so we can kind of keep tabs on between.
I mean, I'm
still
just
running.
Like curious because like in Rebels, he's friends with Rex, who is an ex-clone. So like, I wonder like how does that go about? Like,
that depends on how long they carry this show.
That is true. Yeah.
How many years it spans? Because he goes to, at least in the miniseries, he goes to ground pretty quick and cuts himself off in the Force. Mm-hmm. So he does end up back on Kaller, but he's off doing his own thing. It would be cool to see him like in the background, like doing his own thing, like But at the end of the day, I think he was the vehicle to set up the conflict between Crosshair and Hunter. Mm-hmm. Which I thought was awesome. That little bit where that Crosshair's not buying his bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, stop lying.
Yeah. Normally
did
when
not-
people
I was
fall,
like,
you look
Hunter's
down, not
so
across.
nice.
Yeah.
Let him be nice. I love when Crosshair was like, if he fell down, then you wouldn't be looking across.
That's it.
Like, motherfucker.
That's great.
Yeah,
I
he's
like
really
it.
stretching.
They do a really good job of like you going, oh shit, because if you watch the Clone Wars, when Crosshair like when he's, I don't remember what exactly happens, but the kid runs away and then it zooms in on Crosshair and he goes, yeah, but good soldiers follow orders or whatever, and that is the clue that the inhibitor chip is working on him, because that's what they say in Clone Wars, at least, when that one clone goes crazy and starts killing people. He's like, good soldiers follow orders.
My
good
husband made
soldiers
me
follow
watch that
orders."
episode. He's like,
So-
you need to watch this so you understand what's gonna happen. And I was like,
That was a
okay.
moment for me where it went on Crosshair and he says, good soldiers follow orders.
Yeah.
I went, oh no!
He's fucking one of them.
I was like, not Crosshair!
And now he's even more like one of them, which is.
I mean, I didn't really like him to begin with.
I
but-
didn't either. Do you guys think
Um,
he'll like come back to like the light side, like join?
Yeah, it's
No.
Star Wars. Yeah.
Yes, and then he's gonna die because that's how it all.
Yep, I
How
think
it
he is
works
gonna
in
die
Star
too.
Wars.
I thought that was going to be like the crux of the show, was going to be the constant to and fro between
It broke
He'll be
Crosshair
back.
and Hunter,
Yeah.
but they just plucked him right out of there, and now we've gone from the bad 5 to the bad 4. you know.
Technically, it is bad 5 though, because we got
Oh,
Omega.
doesn't
Yeah.
You
count.
got Omega! You guys.
Omega. I'm sick of
Because
it.
which one is it? It's not Tech.
Echo.
Echo is technically not a clone; he's more machine. So now you do have the
More
5.
machine.
so-
Watch that episode.
Yeah.
We got another Dagan shot us out another stereo. Let's see what he got.
All right, Thomas. So since you're the resident go-to lawyer in the galaxy, I got a real question for you that I feel like I've always needed to know the answer to. So, is there some sort of exotic animal law in place that prevents me from keeping a pet rancor under a trapdoor in my basement? And the treatment of the rancor by Malakili in Return of the Jedi potentially animal cruelty? Thanks. That's what I got for you guys.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He doesn't ask if the way if Luke killing the animal is animal cruelty. But
Look, the door did that. Luke just kind of hit a control panel with a skull. Look, I'll say this. I don't know what the law, like what state you're in, but I think that there'd be no body left to prosecute because you'd be dead having been fed to your own rancor. So we call that a moot case.
Yeah, this is like trying to file for life insurance on Alderaan, right? It's just like, what's the point?
Prosecute
Like-
these bones.
File for life insurance on Alderaan. That was pretty good, Dean. that was pretty good.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. How do you collect that? Like, if you're an Alderanian and you're not on planet when it blows up, but like you know, your husband had life insurance, how the fuck do you collect on that, dude?
Give me that show.
If you want your property on Alderaan
The
and you're off-world,
insurance side of Star Wars.
I tell you, there was a cool little moment in in episode 2 that really got me. And I think it was intentional, but I don't know. So stuff starts to go to shit there on the landing pad, and you've got clones pouring in and firing on them. And up to that point, Hunter is just sort of blocking shots. Like he's knocked out a couple clones, but then Hunter rolls up and like actually kills a couple, and you see like Tech and stuff like look over like, oh shit. And it's like this moment that you've seen a couple times during the Clone Wars where like Boba Fett in particular just jumps out at me, where he has this like knee-jerk reaction, like he does not want to kill his brothers. Like it's just this unwritten rule, like this thing that's baked into their DNA. And Hunter sort of breaks that rule, and it's like, oh shit, it's on now. Like this, there's no coming back from this. It was a subtle moment. It like was really fleeting, but it got me as I was watching. I was like, that's pretty cool.
There was. I will admit, there was a time that actually made me cry in the second episode. First of all, I got to say I love the clone that had deserted, and it's like how he started a family and like everything he was about Hunter, about the kids and all that, and and dude, the moment where he's telling Hunter, like she's not a soldier, and then like treats her like a child, that was all amazing. But that's not what made me cry. what made me cry was when the exact moment that I realized that Omega was not leaving the show.
God.
It wrecked my fucking world.
Can I ask who is everyone's favorite member of the Bad Batch?
Oh, I mean,
Good question.
I feel like I like Hunter, but I also like Wrecker. I like Wrecker a lot.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that the big dude?
Okay.
Hunter's the
The big
heart of
dude.
the show, but
Yes,
Thomas
he's just
got a
he's
prop
so
for his
simple.
answer.
I know.
So this is the thing with the big dude, right? He's so simple. Now, they all got enhanced attributes, different attributes. Where does it say that they get enhanced attributes but reduced intelligence? Because this fucking guy,
Because he's just
supposed to
a
be
big
like
guy.
a guy.
I mean,
And
You've
he
played
jeopardizes
D&D
so much-
or a video
That's the
game, right?
trope.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. No,
Don't
obviously,
bad
if you're playing
talk
the game,
Uncle Wrecker,
you would have to
okay?
balance the guy out. But he's supposed to be like the best clone of the best,
I
one
love
of the-
when
a
Tech is
clone
just
of the
like,
best dude plus strength, not plus strength and minus intelligence.
I'm
I
gonna
like when
send
Tech
Wrecker
is like,
to you
oh,
competent.
that's your
Anyway.
enhancement. And he's like, stop talking to me like I'm a computer. Like, I love
He should
that.
at least be competent, and he just
No, I love it. It's
moves
funny.
it around when he's just like, oh, I'm just gonna punch the wall when we're in this cell,
Dude, the
and nobody's
void's got
gonna
to him,
notice.
okay? But let him be.
Look,
and
You
then-
Wrecker be.
that's like any video game character creator ever. Like, you can't max out your guy. Like, you're gonna have to make. You want to be a brawler? You're gonna be real dumb. Like,
Yeah,
that's-
exactly. You can't have
or
best of both
something.
worlds.
Yeah, I would say at this point, Tech is my favorite.
Mine too.
But more powerful than my favorite, I will say that the first episodes in the introduction arc in the last season of Clone Wars, I didn't care for Crosshair. I'm just gonna say it. I love you, Dean, but he's a typical British asshole.
Oh my god.
And
Why do we get Crosshair? Why do we have to be the villain? This is racial discrimination.
It's accent discrimination. But no.
I thought it was more French,
Hey,
but I guess
I
that's just me.
I can't believe as a white man I'm being persecuted. Nobody's ever felt what this is like before. Terrible.
I like Crosshair now, though. Not like as a favorite character, but like I like him as in I love how they made him go turncoat against the Batch, and it brings in so much more elements and drama to it. It's going to be
heard any second, Jay, and don't you forget it.
See, I have
What?
a different. My favorite's Tech, but I grew up loving the Ninja Turtles, and I was a big Donatello fan growing up. Every group's got to have the Donnie, and Tech is the Donatello of this group. I didn't even hear him open his mouth. You just look at him, and you're like, "You're Donatello in Star Wars."
Yep.
And
100%.
there's this
He's
moment in the
Egon.
second. Well, there's a moment in the second season. They're trying to figure out how to like replicate or copy, bootleg these chain codes, and they're like, "Can you do it, Tech?" And he's like, "Well, I've just heard about them, but yes, I can do it." Like, no problem. He's gonna be my man. I'll be very upset if he gets killed.
yeah.
If he gets fucking
Oh,
killed,
I
I'll
don't
be
think
pissed.
so.
They're not gonna
I think
kill him.
Crosshair is gonna like come back to them and then die, like
Yep.
sacrifice himself in some way.
Yep.
That's
No.
definitely happening.
That is
Yes.
how Star Wars works.
That's how
That's what Star Wars way.
Exactly.
No, I'm
Like
sick of
Kylo Ren.
No, I can't.
He's gonna
no.
tell Hunter that he loves him, and then he's gonna die, and it's gonna be a whole thing.
We can be redeemed too, Jay.
I've got a serious question here now. I've got a for real serious legit question, and I will ask Thomas since he is the resident Star Wars dictionary. Now think back, Thomas, at the end of Return of the Jedi, and everybody else shush your mouths, you damn fools. Hey,
No
just
problem.
like you. Sarah, she'll say something, I know it. But no, for real though. Think back when the scene where Luke is burning Vader's body, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember that very final shot of Luke. If you can picture it in your head, does he or does he not have this small look in his eye like he turned to the dark side? I have always thought that, for real. I've always thought that. And when the sequel trilogy came out, I wanted it so bad to be that was what had happened. Like, because I just, for me,
What?
I see that in his eyes. This look of like, Yeah,
I got you, bitch.
Yeah, I'm in charge now, motherfucker. Like,
that final scene.
The Empire's mine.
Know what I'm talking about, or is that just me?
And then he just sticks a fork in him and just takes a bite and looks right to the camera.
He's like,
If they ever
"Who's good,
do
Daddy?"
like a show like What If, and they just explore shit like that, that would be amazing. Where he's like,
"Oh my god, they should."
He was like, I wasn't strong enough to kill the Emperor, but I tricked you into doing it for me, and then I got your ass.
Well,
I'm still hoping that's what
that.
Vision
And I will do a quick plug for Schmoes of the North. Good friends with them. Frenchie is a producer of one of my other shows. They are actually, he's starting a Star Wars What If type show over there. I believe Gold Leader is going to be on that, as well as Taco and someone else. I can't remember. But yeah, they're going to do just that, like what if scenarios and whatnot. Yeah, so plug that for them for sure. Watch out for that. But yeah, that I just always got that feeling, man, that it just looked like there was like a smile in his eyes, dude.
What?
Shut
Can
up.
I ask a really
father.
stupid question?
He's
I have a really
burning his father. What? What are you?
I have a question that Sean's gonna yell at me for. Okay, so the creature in the second episode, what's it called?
The Nexu.
Yes, is that the same one from the best Star Wars movie, Attack of the Clones?
Yes, that's a good catch.
Yes, thank you.
Good
My
eye.
favorite, the best one made Attack of the Clones.
Good eye.
Thank you.
Man, see, Sarah brought some knowledge.
I brought the knowledge, guys.
There we go. That's what we need.
Because I watched that scene so many times.
Why?
So many times.
Hold on, no, we got to dive into this. You're the one who's why that.
I love that movie. I'm obsessed with Obi-Wan in that movie, and it's just my favorite.
No,
I love that scene when they're all hanging up and they're all fighting the creatures.
Do you like the part?
And Natalie Portman looks hot. I'm gonna say it. That's what you wanted, right? I mean,
I was gonna ask
the ripped shirt.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. Do you like the part where she gets
They
slashed
kiss?
and all of a sudden her midriff is
Yes.
showing now? Like her,
Yeah.
her costume
They go out.
disappears
They
between
tell each other
cuts.
they love each other. They're in the thing, and it goes out, and they're all cheering and they're making out. Oh, it's great. It's beautiful. The best scene in any Star Wars movie.
That's exactly what I was digging for too. I knew it.
Thomas agrees, right?
I mean, that is it's interesting.
That's
that you
romance.
like that
That's
kiss
just-
so much because that is the very moment at the whole fall of the galaxy. That is the moment that starts it all. Really, that's the point of no return.
The kiss.
Well,
The
you
kiss.
could go back
Well,
to
yeah,
Qui-Gon
of course it is.
I also like when 3CPO comes out with his head on the droid as
Yeah.
well. I think that's hilarious. I love the droids in this show.
Wait,
I
Sarah,
think they're
go
so
back, go
funny.
back. Go back. What did you call him?
Did I say it wrong? I always
What do
say
you-
it wrong.
No. Just say it again. Don't worry. Just say it again.
No.
Just say it again.
I'm not embarrassing myself.
Yeah, say it again. You already did it once. People.
I'm not doing it.
If you
Rewind it, people, if you want to hear it.
cut it out, put it on a 1 minute loop. and upload-
Wait, what? No, now I'm embarrassed.
C3PO. I don't know
That's
what
what I
you
said.
said. That's what I thought you said too. I didn't hear it.
Oh, maybe I heard 3
Thanks, Paige.
CPO.
I got you.
Three.
Us
We
girls
gotta,
gotta stick
us,
together.
yeah, us
So
girls gotta
hard
stick
to actually
together.
say
Thanks,
it
guys.
wrong.
I definitely probably did because my husband always calls me out
The
and is like, "You
question
said it
is
wrong."
right now. I don't even know which one to say is right.
My way. Anyway, not
And he's
important.
not in the episode. So
Moving
well
on.
done. Anthony
Since we're on
Daniels,
the
you ruined
topic of
something
talking
else.
like favorite Star, which one's is you guys' favorite Star Wars movie? Thomas, if you don't want to give it away because you're in.
I don't. I mean, I don't care. People can spin away and give me something else, and I'll blow that out of the water too. I love them all. It's
Alright.
I don't see stuff as like favorite and least favorite or like and don't like. It's like if I've got 30 minutes or 45 minutes, which one am I more likely to just put on my
okay,
phone or
yeah,
something like that? So I don't know. I loved Jedi growing up. It was just like it just hit me at the right time, and I loved all three. But that was like right out of the gate action. Like love Jabba's palace, that whole sequence.
Yeah.
Battle of Endor will forever be my favorite battle scene in any Star Wars movie. So it's Jedi.
Yeah.
I mean,
same.
Jedi is definitely my second one. Empire Strikes Back is my all-time favorite. I mean,
It's pretty
you get to see
good.
Han Solo use a lightsaber. What? Like that made me think like I can use a
Yeah.
lightsaber now, and I
That's
don't
the
have
only
the
bit of
force.
brightness
But
in that whole fucking movie.
I was let down that Leia didn't kiss Luke again after she found out that he was her brother, but that's a whole nother story.
All about incest, guys. No biggie.
Look, the first time she was ignorant, second time she's a freak. What can you say?
But for me, Return of the Jedi is my favorite. I'm with Thomas.
Yeah.
You know, as a kid growing up, especially, and that's the only one of the originals that I saw in the theater. So, and I remember that clear as day, man. Everything about it. I mean, I remember everything about it, man. The smell, the walking down the inclined floor.
Oh man.
I'm so sorry that you remember the smell.
Popcorn and farts.
Yeah.
Oh, Sean, you know what I'm talking about.
And farts. Great.
I did see the original. I remember what the Phantom Menace came out in '99, right? Anyone go? There we go. All right.
Yeah.
And I remember I saw the originals in theaters right before that one came out. Dude, I was such a tomboy when I was little. I had Star Wars bed sheets. I was like, I want to be Luke Skywalker one day. Like, best thing I got though was tattoos of it. So close enough.
I'm going to brag for a second because this is something that probably none of you. I would bet Thomas would probably be the one who would be most likely to have it. But guys, I have the original theatrical version of the OG trilogy, and it's amazing, dude. It looks like shit. The quality looks like there's none of that stupid extra crap walking around in the background and the
Oh, I love that part. I actually, it's a banger. I don't know why, but it makes me laugh every time.
We get this is the real. What really went down? I'm sick of this thing about Han shot first and all this shit. That is absolutely not true. The real statement to be said here is Greedo never even shot, and that's Thomas.
I have they released a DVD in like 2004 with a theatrical cut as like a special disc in there. So I have that one, but you can get there's like what is it called? The 1977 project or something like that. And it's in 4K. So you can still get that. But yeah, I don't know. Like for me, when the special editions came out in 97, I was 12. And that's like the perfect time to, like, I was already in love with Star Wars, but grew up with my dad and my mom saying like, you have no idea. You didn't see it in theaters. I'm like, whatever. That came along. That was my chance. And I was just like I had seen A New Hope probably 100 times at that point. But the moment the Devastator comes across the screen in the opening, you're like, holy shit. All right, here we go. So I don't know. The special editions hold that sort of special and nostalgic place in my heart.
I think if Disney want to get people back in the theater though, like they pushing with that new Marvel clip the other day, if they announced that they were going to do a run of the original theatrical versions of Star Wars in theaters, like Christmas time this year or something like that, that would absolutely slay.
I would,
or any version.
Out on DVD. They're not going to put it on Disney Plus. They're not going to do anything with it. They have it, and I
would bet money that something in the contract when Lucas sold to Disney is you will never release the theatrical editions because he doesn't. The special editions are his Star Wars. Like he doesn't see them as like he's like this is what I wanted to do. I just didn't have the tech to do it.
But for a theatrical
release
run,
those.
Yeah, but
I'll go see them in theater.
I would bet money there is something in that contract that says you can
I
never
bet the
ever
contract
show those.
Physical media reproduction.
No, I bet it says you can never show these to anybody.
You must earn them.
Dean will find
It's
the
so much
loophole in
easier
that
to
contract.
having drafted contracts left and right. It's so much easier to draft it really broadly and just encompass everything rather than like make it really specific.
Yeah.
And I guarantee Lucas had them by the like there. He could have named any amount of money and gotten it out of them for the franchise. Like $4 billion was just him picking a number off of the wall.
I thought that was pretty light, to be honest.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like he pledged half of it to charity already. So anyways, he was in the total driver's seat when it came to that negotiation. And like, I'm telling you right now, the release or the prospect of the release of the theatrical, that was not a deal breaker. That was not something that I guarantee Disney's attorneys were going to go to the mat over. But it probably was for Lucas. Like, fuck off, you can go away, and I'll just keep this. and you can just So they're like, okay, well, I don't know, but I do think if they release them like that, you have an entire generation of people that are going to go to see those and be like, this looks like shit. Like this is like shit. This is garbage.
What the fuck is this?
These effects suck. Like, it's we forget. Yeah, it's easy to watch A New Hope and be like, I don't like this. I don't like this. But then you watch like the Battle of Yavin, and people are like, I've got no problem with the X-wings and the Y-wings looking better. But you go back and watch the original cut of that. That looks like dog shit comparatively. So
Wade's so upset.
You would single-handedly make it a profitable venture for them.
Dude,
I want to go and see an old movie. I don't want to see an old movie dressed up to try and be a new movie. If I want to see a new movie, I'll see a new fucking movie.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about you, but you're not the audience I'm talking about. I would be in the theater repeatedly, but like younger folks, like people trying to take their kids to it, they'd be like, "This sucks." Like, show me something else. Dude, and that's not a knock on Star Wars. It's just
back then. Why would you don't think their imagination could get past the lack of graphics?
You already have such a hard time.
I get what he's saying. It's not even just like the quality of the special effects. It's like the actual like look of the image, and it's just gonna have that grainy.
People have a hard time watching the original trilogy now if they've never seen it.
I get it.
Yeah, the special edition.
The special editions to my 8-year-old niece. She's gonna be like, what is? I was gonna say she's gonna be like, what the fuck is this? But she's not. Gonna say that she's 8. But she's gonna be like, this looks terrible. Yeah, she'll go, what the fuck is this? Why are you showing this to me?
That's kind of what I'm saying. I think kids are gonna look at any version of A New Hope. If you don't like Star Wars, you're gonna look at it that it looks crap now, regardless if it's the theatrical or the special.
So why would you make it look worse?
For money.
Get it,
man. Because it's new and different, and we haven't had it for a while. That's capitalism. Just get it. It's not on the market.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea at all. I would be for like, I would camp out to go see it. But
we don't.
Even if they did it, we're not going to get it over here anyway. So fuck everyone.
Dude, I will say though, I was pissed. Like, all right, so the day before May 4th, Marvel drops that dope ass trailer that gets you so hyped for Phase 4, and then Star Wars drops nothing.
Yeah.
Where's my Andor trailer?
Like right, like
my Obi-Wan teaser.
I just wanted something, and we got nothing. I was waiting around all day. I was at work looking at my phone every 5 minutes. It's like, is it coming? Did I miss something?
Photos.
All they needed to put out was just a shot of the desert, and then like Obi-Wan with the hood, and he takes the hood down and the logo comes up. That's all they needed to do. Everyone would have lost their minds, and a release date.
That's all we needed. They could have shown Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen on set with the arm around him, and that would have been enough. Like, they don't even have to be in costume. They could be in jeans and a t-shirt. If you
they're just eating lunch, like, here they are.
Yeah, just standing next to each other. And
hasn't actually got any arms.
We're gonna wrap it up here. This is going to be an hour-long show. And there's for those of you still watching or listening, there is a big Schmodown Star Wars title match tonight against Andrew DiMolanta is defending against Alex Damon, who he just took the belt from. So be sure and check that out. If you're not familiar,
play along.
Yeah, play along with them too.
I attempt to play along.
I can do it.
Yeah.
But be sure to
put like 3 questions in a Star Wars match the other day. I was pretty excited. I just started watching the FCL stuff. And I'm acing the FCL stuff.
There you go.
Watch out. Anyway.
Let's go around the quick. Sarah, in addition to this show, host of Go Get That Rose, which will be this network here next month, which is a Bachelor Nation podcast. And we're starting a fantasy draft. It's going to be amazingly fun.
It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a hot mess.
Oh, yeah. But where can people find you at for our listeners?
You can find me. Well, you'll find me here doing that podcast with Jay. I'm kind of a fan, but I just like to talk trash about all the people and trashy reality TV. But you can find me on Twitter at SCBock, so SSEABOCK.
And Sean AFK, buddy, where can folks find you at?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Sean_AFK doing more stuff than I have time for.
That is true.
So yeah.
And Dean Lewis, sir, where can the folks find you
You
at?
can find me in this chair using this remote to turn on episode 2 of the Bad Batch. And you can also watch the after show for the Bad Batch on this channel right here. And you can find me at Dean Lewis 2099 on Twitter. And I will tweet my opinions on this episode in 30 minutes.
Can't wait. I'll have my phone close by.
Yeah.
We should do a show about that.
Yeah.
A reaction show to your tweets.
And, thanks for Betty. She's she's on the usual suspects in the Schmodown. So if you're listening to this and you're not familiar with that, you can see her on there competing from time to time. Where can folks find you at?
Yeah, you guys can check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Front Page News 9. I also run my own movie blog on Instagram titled Feature Flicks Without the C. And you guys can catch me here talking a bunch of Star Wars shit show knowledge, showing off my cool new tattoos, guys. I don't know if you've seen that one yet. But yeah, and you can catch me in the Schmodown. So, Boston Badass, I'm out.
All right. And also in the Schmodown in the Star Wars division, who is about to start a tournament and make a run for that belt, Thomas Harper. Where can folks find you at, sir?
You know, my Twitter handle should be the height of creativity right there. So just take some notes, guys. It's Thomas L. Harper, and just bask in that glory. Yeah, I've got a match next week, my first match in the tournament against the supremely talented and just massively followed Eric Whiteley of Blind Wave. So that's going to be a slugfest in the first round of this. I feel like the entire lineup for that tournament's a murderer's row. It's just whoever makes it to the top is just going to need a year to recuperate. But yeah, it'll be good. That match comes out on the 12th, so it's next Wednesday. We'll play each other and we'll see who comes out on top. It's going to be a tough slug. Tough slugfest. So, and then you can also find me over on the Legal Geeks. I do a podcast that it's going to start tomorrow with the first episode where we're looking at legal issues in the Bad Batch. So if you wondered about whether it was cool for the Empire to just cancel that contract with the Kaminoans, we'll like break down all that fun stuff.
That's great.
Well, guys, may the force be with you all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
or for the Imperial fans, Revenge of the Fifth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all can
Man, it's just past midnight here. I've got a great tweet for the next day. Follow me and find out.
Oh my gosh. Okay, can I do mine now so we can get out and watch some Schmodown?
I'll allow it.
You're just the main host of it, but no, you can't talk.
Roll to Major Tom. I'm sorry. I had to.
It's ready-made.
On the Twitter at JWade1134. That's the letter J, WADE1134. Also at the Jcast Network on Twitter. And both of those stereo where you can leave your comments here. And I also do a sports talk show devoted to the Schmodown, which is tomorrow and every Saturday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. So be there. We've got Andrew DiMolanta on the show tomorrow. And so we'll either have the person who held on to the belt or lost the belt. So be sure to tune in for that. Oh, I love the dogs. My cat. Until next week, everyone.
I don't think she likes the mask at all.
The helmet, kid.
She's not a fan of the helmet.
I was just about to say thanks for joining us for this Star Wars shit show. I love it. It's been a hell of a lot of fun, and we will be back at the same time. Everyone have a great, safe week. You want to hear something funny? The mic wasn't on that whole time.
No way.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow.
So smooth.